The Mexican drug kingpin known as El Chapo, who 6 months ago made a daring prison escape through a mile-long tunnel, has just been informed his freedom party is over. Joaquin Guzman, as he's known, arrested after being on the run since this past July, according to Mexican President Enrique Peña Nieto. With us now, Geraldo Rivera, who walked through that tunnel. Geraldo, what have you learned since you left Gretchen and Trisha's show and come here? I'm sure you've been working the phones.
Have been working the phones and our sources. We now have a clearer picture, Liz, of how it went down. It was quite dramatic. 3 days or so ago, they got a tip from someone in Sinaloa about this nondescript White House and the coming and going of a couple of armored cars, a lot of armored thugs. The Mexican best law enforcement agency, ironically part of their military, the Marines, part of the Department of the Navy in Mexico as it is here in the United States, the Marines, this elite force, surrounded, demanded that they come in, that the people inside come out. There was an intense firefight. 5 of the bad guys, El Chapo's bodyguards, were slain. 6 people, including the billionaire kingpin drug fugitive, escaped. But I tell you, this man has enormous resources. He will escape again if he's not extradited to the United States. He's wanted in 7 different district jurisdictions here in the United States. He must be extradited, and as soon as possible.
Look, I was looking at drug addiction across the United States. There have been more heroin overdoses. They have jumped exponentially. Can you say definitively that this guy is very much part of the reason that so much heroin has come across the border?
Unequivocally, he is the #1 drug kingpin, particularly in Chicago. All the dope on the streets of Chicago came from El Chapo's network. It is no doubt, Liz. This guy is not just all talk. He's a billionaire. Forbes listed it on the list of one of the richest men on earth before his first recapture. Now he's recaptured. He cannot go to a Mexican prison, though. He has the resources to buy off and intimidate anyone in their correctional.
You know, when you chop the head off a snake, the body still tends to move. Chopping the head off, let's say best circumstances, he is extradited to the United States. Will the rest of the body left in Mexico continue to move? Is it a hydra where the arms continue to sprout?
Excellent point. This fellow Cruz, his second command was also, I'm not sure whether he was captured or killed, one or the other in this incident. So he's also. So this has definitely hit the El Chapo network right where they live. Now, will someone else come up to take over? You know, demand creates supply, unfortunately. I think that as long as the United States is consuming all these drugs, then it will come from someplace. If you stop it coming over the southern border, it will probably come back from the Southeast Asian, the Golden Crescent, and so forth. I've chased this drug thing all over the world, this trillion-dollar drug war all over the planet. And whenever one, it is a whack-a-mole. Whenever one is knocked down, another pops up. But this is a severe blow. We have to do what we can do. We've got to deal with demand here in the States. But when one person a day is dying in a state in New Hampshire, for goodness sake, one a day is dying. Ocean County, New Jersey, Staten Island, New York. Heroin now has replaced any other kind of drug abuse in terms of overdose deaths.
Yeah, you know, even in states like Arkansas and Louisiana, you start to see this unbelievable growth, and it's absolutely devastating. But when you're looking at what happened, props to the Mexican government, because the threats against police, the murders of local mayors and area governors, it's been horrifying, where these drug dealers have gone after these people and through fear have been able to just tamp down any efforts to get them.
I have no disagreement to everything that you just said. However, I must also suggest that the Mexican government has been so riddled with corruption that the cash available has bought and paid for high-ranking administration officials all the way to the top.
How do you fight that, Geraldo?
You fight it by actions like that. You fight it, first of all, when you allow El Chapo to escape 2 times. Then you, in the eyes of the bad guys and in your own people, are incompetent and corrupt. You start there. You start by doing what you say you're going to do. Now you have this man. The United States wants him desperately. Don't stand, I'm saying to Mexico. First of all, bravo, Mexico. Viva Mexico. Peña Nieto, terrific job. You finally got him back. I know how humiliated you were. I was down there. I was in his tunnels and all the rest of it. bravo Mexico, but now do the right thing. Don't stand on national pride. This is not about, Mexican sovereignty. This is about pragmatic law enforcement. Here you have a guy who has connections in Mexico and has proven his ability to pay off everybody, put him 6 floors underground in a Colorado Supermax.
You were in that tunnel, climbing through. How professional was it?
It is staggering, the infrastructure, the resources spent to...
Okay, describe what you're doing here.
I'm going down into... All right, I think I'm coming back up now. But that modest hole belies a major construction effort where they went 3 stories down, and it's half as wide as the studio, the anteroom, where they had a generator down there, for goodness sake. There's a generator. There was a string of lights. So 3 floors down is a tunnel a mile long. It is a line tunnel. In other words, it is an improved tunnel with lighting, with ventilation, with a light rail system where they use these rail cars to excavate the dirt. They purchased the property to dig the first hole. They went down 3 stories when a mile came up exactly, not just in the prison, not just in his cell, but in the 1 2x2 area in the corner of his bathroom where the camera did not, the surveillance camera did not see.
Like the tunnels of Cu Chi down in Vietnam. My God.
I joke that would bet we had hired him to finish the 2nd Avenue subway, we would have been finished years ago. It's still uncompleted.
Geraldo Rivera, with that first-hand look at what that tunnel was, it's a good day overall that this guy was caught.
It's a wonderful, wonderful, let's count our blessings. A day the market is tanking. At least we have this bit of good news.
Yeah, well, down 71 points. I'm glad you brought that up, Geraldo. Thank you.